Hi guys, this is Kim from Abundant Life Tarot, and I thought I'd do a little midnight weekly reading for the week of August 30th. This would be a general reading, may even dabble into just an abundance card as well, or a love one, whatever suits our fancy, wherever we're driven to. I am going to start off the reading with a Dear Heart Oracle card, and we're just going to invite Spirit to come in. Spirit, we ask that you please guide us to what we need to confront this week. What tools can we use to confront what it is that we need to confront? And what will happen? What will be the outcome once we use the tools to confront what we need to? What happens after we do that this week? So we are looking for guidance from you. So let's start with the Dear Heart Oracle. And we will ask that you give us some jumping cards. I'm going to rearrange some stuff here. I got my whole reading table covered in stones. I was playing with stones this week quite a bit. Okay, sweet. Alright, so the first card that jumped out was balance and wisdom, gratitude, and protection. So it's a chatty moment here in time with Spirit with all the cards that jumped out from this deck. So first up is balance, and where in our life do we need to provide a little more balance? It could be our work life, it could be our home, personal life with our beloveds, it could be with our children, it could be with our parents, friends, sisters, brothers, etc. Or it could be within ourselves. Are we out of balance? Are we out of whack health-wise? What is it that is requiring our attention to bring a sense of balance? And why do we seek balance? Well, because when we find that we are in that constant, when something floats, it is in balance, right? Everything is in an alchemic balance where it's almost like magic, but it's a will of receiving and allowing what is. And sometimes you have to stand up and provide that balance for ourselves. We can't look to the outside forces to provide that balance. That balance comes from us standing up straight and tall and withstanding and withholding what it is that we need to. So don't look to outside sources this week to provide balance. Looking to exercise regimens because of the sake of, other people that's what they're doing. No. Where are you guided? Where's your inner wisdom telling you to move to in order to find the balance? We have to listen to our inner wisdom this week a little more than we normally do. We are asked to take a moment when we're in situations to say, hey, what would our higher self do in this situation? Not what would our small little ego, I'm gonna cuss you out self do. No, what would our higher self do this week? How would the inner owl in me, the wise owl, find balance? For me this week, I want to take time to nurture myself, bubble baths, and going to the gym, not because, oh, it's what everybody else is doing, but because I want to. I can get into a meditative state when I do cardio, and it feels good to me. I'm following that inner wisdom. I remember that exercising feels good to my being. That's helping me to provide balance. The same can go for you in other areas of your life. Where can you draw from your inner wisdom to help bring balance into your life? Have a sense of gratitude as we move into November. Every day we should be in high gratitude, finding hundreds of things to be grateful for each day. But take special note this week as we move into Thanksgiving month. This is in America, it is November, fall, autumn. The time changes where we lose, it's no longer daylight savings time. So the time shifts back, and then it's an hour earlier, and it's darker earlier, and but be grateful for everything, all the shifts, all the changes, the things that come that doesn't appear so pretty in our lives are also our biggest blessings, right? Areas where we have to work the hardest are areas that way, the biggest areas that way for us, because that is where our biggest manifestations will come from. So be grateful for every experience, every single thing that's coming to you, and be grateful for being alive. Gratitude is going to help open the channels and the ways to abundance for you, but you have to take a moment to honor the gratitude. And I do that by keeping a list on my phone where I text like in a little note things I'm grateful for throughout the day. I like to also journal it. Those are just some ideas. Finally, protection. So protection, protecting of the heart. You see that the heart is starting to crystallize here. I always find this interesting because on one hand, yes, there are instances where the heart needs to be protected, and then there are instances where the protection is almost too much. And you have to find the balance. The balance between protecting your heart from heartbreak and also opening up and allowing in love into your life, or a friendship into your life, or a new career or a new hobby to bud. You've got to be soft enough, palatable enough in this existence to be receiving of new experiences, but recognize that yes, you've been hurt before, and that will cause a little protection, but you're not going to allow that protection to get out of whack, out of balance, and then now start to block your blessings, block your love blessings. So, I think that this is a call to finding the balance and protecting yourself and your heart this week. Wow, that was some powerful messages from the Dear Heart Oracle. Okay, next we're going to work with the Heal Yourself reading cards by Inna Siegel. And we're just going to ask for Spirit to provide us a card or two to help illuminate this week on what we need to confront. And a thank you, Spirit, for the tools you gave us in the Dear Heart Oracle by really utilizing our inner wisdom, our gratitude, and seeking balance this week. And to watch the balance and protection. Oh, pride. Are there any other messages? Oh, this is really about love this week. It's quite interesting. Okay. Okay, this is fun. All right. So, I love this because I think this week I've been doing readings for people and it has been primarily about love. And I love that because love is why we're here, right? So that is amazing. The first card that came up from the Heal Yourself reading cards is rejection. Some wounds that come up for many of us is being rejected, having past loves that rejected us, or maybe a parent that kind of rejected us in a way, or, a friend that did, or whatever the case may be. Dealing with rejection is not always pleasant. But sometimes if you can look at it for what it is, hey, you and that person, for whatever reason, had a moment in time where your call for love in that situation, you didn't feel like it was received. It was rejected in your perception. That means something to you, but don't let it overrule everything that you are doing, okay? Don't let it overrule everything that you believe about love. And speaking of love, rejection and dealing with that and letting those past rejections go is what will lead to love in our life. That's where we're aiming. We want that kind of love that's, just otherworldly, right? Everlasting. And you see here that she's got a lot on her mind. Well, we can understand why she has a lot on her mind. She has her love on her mind. And when we let go of rejection, there is now room for love to dwell. When you're trying to carry the bag of rejection while you are seeking love and trying to add love into a pot of rejection, you're going to get a situation where it's just not going to really work. Your rejection issues are going to be stirring up. And if your partner has rejection issues too, then it's all stirring up together. And there's a lot of conflict that can happen with that. But when you've dealt with it, you've ironed out those issues with the rejection in your past, you make room for love. Pride. Look at that. I love this card. Where in your life are you prideful? Is it to cover up past rejections? Is it when you start to wear too much pride in your relationships with others and with yourself, it starts to block the beauty of the blessings that's trying to come to you, whether that's in a relationship or whether that's in gifts or manifestations of abundance, whatever the case may be. Pride can sometimes be quite damaging. And I actually want to look at the guidebook on this one. It is verse 7. You may be acting out of arrogance and vanity. Humility is the key. When you are prideful, you can become harsh and not conscious of your weaknesses. This can temporarily make you feel more powerful and superior to others, whilst at the same time cause you to be judgmental, unteachable, and hardened. Have you been fighting, quarreling, and disagreeing with others? Are you always trying to prove a point and defend your position? Do you think that you are always right? By holding on to shadow pride, you are stopping yourself from progressing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Stop overestimating your importance and learn to be humble. When you are too proud, you cannot hear other people's advice and cannot receive their assistance. Empowerment means that you can be soft, caring, aware, and gentle. Recognize that you need other people's support to achieve true success. And that is so important. You know, if you're too prideful, you're not going to be able to hear advice on how to maybe receive more love in your life or how to live your best life yet. So you're going to have to let go of your pride, you know, your high horse that you know it all, and realize you don't know it all and be okay with that. And that will make room and allow for you being able to receive help from above. Wow, look at that beautiful moon. I mean, that's what it's about. If you want the kind of love that is, stop moving it around, that's earth-shattering, that moves mountains, all of those cliched things, then you're going to have a co-creative experience with spirit. Meaning you're going to have to trust that spirit is bringing your love, your partner, and that your partner's already here. It's just a matter of time, right? And you're going to have to allow the help from above to come and not try to control everything and try to pigeonhole how the experience is supposed to be. You don't know how it's going to happen, and that's okay. The unfoldment is the most beautiful thing about it, really, truly. The journey is just as important. 27. Let's look this up. Help from above. Your positive intentions and heartfelt prayers have been heard. You are loved beyond your wildest dreams. Divine beings are working on your behalf to create the perfect circumstances for you to heal and open your heart. There is a higher order and timing to all things. You're being asked to work on your self-worth so that you can receive your greatest good in the form of incredible love, life-transforming opportunities, healing, abundance, and divine inspiration. Keep asking for higher help and intervention in any area of your life. Then follow your intuition, your inner wisdom. Wow. I'm just taking it all in here. It says, then follow your intuition and lower your barriers. Let go of any notions of how divinity will bring about your deepest heart's yearning. It may be in the package you would expect it, but it will be life-altering. Your heart is about to be challenged to open wider than ever before. That may require you to feel some fear and pain. Do not run away from this experience. Take steps forward with faith, and your greater good is coming. And that's so important, because sometimes pride, when we sometimes worry about looking like a fool for love or looking like a fool in general, afraid to take a chance, we block our blessings. Be the fool, take the chance, and run with it, and just lean in on your faith that everything is unfolding the way it needs to unfold. And finally, the last card in this deck that came out was Sexuality, which is, I'm going to read from that, the book too, because look at this. Okay. Because, you know, sexual healing, it's like always like magic, right? Sexuality is a natural part of life. Embrace and enjoy your intimate, sensual, passionate nature. Take time to explore your sexuality. How do you feel about yourself? Do you feel sexy, attractive, and happy with your body, or are you judging yourself harshly? You need to let go of any feelings of hurt, shame, or guilt in relation to your sexuality. If you're in a relationship, you need to bring some romance back and spice things up. In order to make sex an incredibly fulfilling, seductive, exhilarating, and orgasmic experience, you need to let go of your defenses and fears of being intimate with your partner. Relinquish control and dive into unguarded, ecstatic, blissful passion. Be creative, communicate with your lover, and find new and exciting ways to thrill each other. So wow, this reading was definitely about love. And I think it's just because love is in the air and on the brain and in the atmosphere right now for people. It's something we're all kind of dialed into, right? It's a healing that's going on collectively with all of us. And these themes are all showing up similarly in all of our lives, I believe. So we can all take away from these messages. Thank you, Spirit, for these lovely messages from the Heal Yourself reading cards. Okay, so now we have the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. And we're just going to just get some insight on, once we utilize these tools here, this guidance that we've received, what's in store for us this week as we enter November. We will accept jumping cards. Any other messages that you will get? Okay. You got the tree that came up again, and I don't know if the mirror came up last week, but these are the two cards that come up. A little self-reflection and a little growth we get once we exercise finding balance in our life, relying on that inner wisdom and moving as if we are wise, beautiful, full-grown tree, remaining grateful, kind of letting our defenses down, but knowing when it is an appropriate time to protect ourselves, and then dealing with the rejections of the past, acknowledging them, thanking them for trying to protect our heart, but we can't always allow rejection to start to crystallize on our heart to the point that it's blocking our blessings, because we don't want to be too prideful, right, to blocking our love and blocking the help from above. And when we get the help from above, when we are in love, we have that sexual explosive chemistry, that love that is rocking our world, that love, that passion for life, where we are going out and we are creating and we are contributing to this world in a way that's making a difference, big and small, all because we worked on our love muscles. We worked on that inner work. So now that whatever relationship we're in, we are in an abundant and happy way. It's just beautiful. And then now that ties back into the little secret pocket, there's some, if we do all that work this week, we get to have some time for some self-reflection as we move into autumn, and well, we are in autumn, but as we move into that darker time of autumn, and where we start to move into a time of self-reflection, a time of slow growth, sometimes fast growth, but when we see a tree, we think slow growth, but growth nevertheless. And that's important, I think. I think for all of this that we get to do this week and going through the journey of healing, to have growth and reflection on the other side of it says so much. It says that look at how far we've come and what we've manifested. And we're gonna just see what the little guidebook has for the Mildred Payne. That's 24. It says self-reflection, like we said for this little card. Self-reflection, reevaluating your perceptions, vanity, and we just talked about that too. To be mindful of our pride, but as long as we keep that in check, we'll be all right, and we'll be able to self-reflect and be able to say, wow, I made it on the other side, and I didn't have to have all this like harsh like life lessons like tearing me up to get to growth, right? Sometimes we have to have those life lessons like broken hearts, financial losses, losing a job, death, whatever, to kind of help us get to growth. But in this week, that's not what's going to happen. We're going to do a lot of shadow work and self-work to get to growth. And that's a wonderful place to be manifesting from versus always struggle. This week, we're going to do introspective, the reflection. That's so important. And that's a new way of manifesting, right? As opposed to, oh, it's always by trial, by fire, and it's just like constant chaos for some people, constant sadness for others, stress. It doesn't have to be that way. You can get to growth sometimes, and oftentimes, most times for many people, by taking a moment to self-reflect. Wow, I'm really feeling and digging this reading. And finally, I just want to see what the White Rabbit Oracle has to say. Spirit, what do you have to leave us with? Oh, it is a romance reading. Thank you. It's romance this week. I'm so excited. Oh, it's just so cool. Let's see. I thought I had a card that jumped. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, there's two of them. Okay. All right. So this is how we're closing it out. Yay. Okay. The first card, romance. What we've been talking about all this week. What's been in the private readings I'm doing, as well as in the reading that I did for Dina and Tom. And then the reading that I'm doing now, it's all about romance. How can we bring more of that into our experience this week, huh? What little ways can we show our beloved that we love them? What ways, if we're not in a relationship, can we show ourselves that we are so in love with ourselves? How are you going to treat yourself this week? Each day, I challenge you to treat yourself or treat your beloved, your loved one, your little ones, whomever, to a little bit more of love, a gift of you. Oh, just beautiful. Let's take a look at the keywords for that, the romance. It's a guide paper. It says romance, new relationship, moving to next level for some of us. Yay! Honeymoon phase. And you can be in the honeymoon phase even if you're 10 years into your marriage or 5 years into a relationship. You can get there again. You can have that. Claim that to be yours. It's yours already for the taking. This is exhilaration. And then it also says that there could be a need to open to more love. And we've been discussing that, haven't we? Wow. Next up is empowerment. Empowerment. And all of this that we were talking about this week about balance, using our inner wisdom, watching out for, rejection, overtaking, and the rest of our life, coloring our love experience. This is empowering us in a way that we may not have been empowered before, where we're willing to, take the veils off. It looks like she's getting ready to untie it, like she's empowered to do so. She or he is ready to emerge and be in our empowered state. Wow. In our empowered love state, how we're going to show up to the world, how we're going to be more love in this world. Let's see. Empowerment. It says harnessing personal power, manifesting plans, dreams, leadership, or need to take charge. So again, that's what we've been talking about. Wow. And then finally, enchantment. What is this all really about? Love and enchantment. Enchantment with life. Enchantment with love. Love in all forms. In little forms, like seeing someone, do a nice little gesture for a stranger, and you're blessed enough to bear witness to it. Those little moments of love too, don't discount those. Be enchanted with the everyday experience of life and love. Each moment, each day, be grateful. Be grateful, because gratitude is what allows us to stay in a sense of enchantment. Enchantment is healthy. It provides balance, man. It totally does. Let's see. Enchantment. Bringing ideas to life, attracting what you desire, influencing others. Attracting what you desire. So you will attract it by doing this inner work. This is the inner shadow work. And this isn't hard. Really, this is just about eradicating old ideals about yourself, about rejection is not representing who you are or what your worth is. But a lot of times we wear those. Even when we don't, even when we say we're empowered, saying it and walking the walk and talking the talk is all different. You got to actually root out what it is that's bugging you so you can move forward. Wow, this was a beautiful reading. I wasn't even intending for it to be a love reading, but it makes sense because that's just the vibes of what's going on planetarily, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a blessing doing this reading with you and going on this journey with you. Please let me know if any of this resonated with you. And I just want to thank you again for watching and subscribing. Take care. Bye.